Hey everybody. Thought that I'd show you my face one more time, share some good news that I had today. Um, I was I got new phones. Now I ordered iPhones because they had like a 2-for-1 deal, but so I don't know how that's all going to work out. I usually have been with the Samsung, but the Samsung Note 10 or whatever the hell they are, they're not even available, or whatever the deal is, super expensive. But they had the iPhone 11 Pro that was available for buy one get one. So you guys are going to see me on new phones, and I'm going to hope that that works. But also, I ended up getting a what they call a magic box. It sounds like a sex toy or some porn position, but so I got a magic box from Sprint, T-Mobile, whatever the hell it is right now. I've got that, so that's actually going to improve the data, and it should improve the stream with my phone right here. So, two new phones. I didn't get the Samsung S20 or Note 20, whatever the hell it is. It's the 5G, whatever. You know me, I'm going to be paranoid about that at this point. So, but I did get two iPhones. It would be the first time I ever own an iPhone. But I went ahead and I did it. They had 2-for-1. It's a great deal. And then the other thing. So I'm really looking forward to doing that, because what that means is I can then do all of my YouTube channels that I have, and I've got like a ton of content that I want to do. And you guys have been talking about that, and different things that I want to do with regard to the politics and the businesses shut down and the health department and exposing them, and weaponization of government agencies against businesses, and failure of government agencies in towns with the roads and sidewalks and buildings. So those are all things that I'm going to do, real riveting material that there's going to be a ton of people tuning into. But they're things that I've wanted to do. And then doing these lives, I'm going to be able to do them a little bit better. So I'm looking forward to that. Some other good news. I had an idea and I had an invention that I was working on for a while, about 6 or 7 years. And it has to do with garages. And I ended up talking to a patent attorney today. A friend of mine has knew somebody that is a patent attorney, and they said, "Hey, you should contact this person." And I did. Turns out the guy won an award, or won the competition to be Apple's patent research attorney and firm, which was great. The guy's very knowledgeable. And I told him, he asked me my idea. I said, "Hey, look at, most of these ideas, 80% of the people, I just turn them away." I said, "This is going to make any money for you." And he doesn't want people to waste their money. So he, "What's your idea?" And I shared the idea with him. And I said, it'll be a little bit secretive right now, because, I kind of be protective of it. But he said, "What's the idea?" And I said, "This is the idea." And he says, "Well, why would people use it?" And then I described why people would use it. And his response was just made me fly. It really did. It made me so encouraged. This idea that I created, and then over the weekend I promised myself, there were two small little factors that I had that I hadn't developed and designed in my mind that I needed to. So I ended up designing those. I figured out what the drawbacks were and how to make it work. So, which was great. So all the pieces of the puzzle. One of the things that I say to everybody is, you got to recognize opportunity when it's put in front of you. And we don't often recognize those opportunities that are in front of us. So many times we meet somebody and we don't think that anything can happen with that person. So many times, we don't realize that somebody's put right in front of us. If we need a baker, we meet a baker and we start talking to him, and we walk away and we're like, I really need a baker. And I think recognizing opportunity is huge, because then what that allows you to do is capitalize on that opportunity, recognize it, talk to them about it, act on it. And, it just came together that I had two people that had given me information regarding patent attorneys. And I had spoken to somebody about like 6 months ago. He had invented screws for teeth. He was in dentistry. And the guy, every single screw that gets sold, he is making money off of that. And then just happened that over the weekend I went for a bike ride, and I took the trail, the Amherst Bike Trail, and I took it all the way over to Remington. It's a great little ride if you haven't done it. It's just awesome. Finished up at Remington, and I wasn't even thinking about it. And on Saturday was the day that I did it. Saturday morning, I had come up with the solutions to the two pitfalls, the things that were held back. And then I ended up at Remington, the very place where that guy was telling me that I needed to, if I had an invention, how to go about doing it and patenting it. That's what he did with his. So, it's just cool stuff. Maybe you look at it, maybe I'm looking at it a little bit too deeply, whatever the deal is, but I thought it was pretty cool. The idea came together. I spoke to the patent attorney today, and after I told him what the idea was, he goes, Pete, I hear a lot of ideas. He says, not blowing smoke up your ass, but this idea is revolutionary. He says, I don't know if somebody's designed it or invented it yet, and I've gone through and researched everything on it, and I can't find anything like it. So I'm hopeful that it's going to end up being something that is that's not out there, and is going to end up being very beneficial for people. So very encouraged, very excited by that. And so that was another great part of the day. But we had a couple other good things today. We finished a couple of jobs, got a couple more estimates going out there. But I think the reason that I'm coming on is because I just wanted to follow up with earlier about what I was saying about just being positive and taking what's happening and not stopping being a warrior. You guys know I'm never going to stop fighting, and I'm never going to stop being a warrior. And I'm never going to stop trying to make other people, or not make, but encourage other people to do whatever it is that they can do, whatever's within them. Dorothy Carlone, she's doing everything that she can do with everything that she can do, and so many other people, on the list of sharing all this information every single day on Facebook and fighting the little bit of fight that they can do. Whatever little bit you can put into the fight, do it. Whatever skill set you have, do it. And at the same turn, try to be positive and upbeat and happy, because that's what's going to turn this thing around. That's how we're going to take this back from the people that want to control everything. The people that think that you can't think for yourself. The people that think you can't do for yourself. The people that think they know better, they know what's better for you. Those are called what we call the elites. They're the mentally ill. They're the deranged. They're the psychopaths. They're the sociopaths. And then they're criminals. They're behaving criminally because they're trying to control everybody's behavior. And they don't even know why they want to control the behavior. They're just trying to do it. The last thing, and I was just keeping this brief, the last thing that I wanted to do is I just can't thank everybody enough. Like, I really cannot thank everybody enough for supporting me through everything that's happened. I had the census guy come over today, and his name's John, and he's been here like 4 times, and he's wearing the mask. He walked in. I said, you don't have to wear a mask if you don't want to. I don't give a shit. And, we just kind of developed a little bit of a friendship. My house was targeted that they said, hey, we want to interview you. I said, cool, I can do that. And, so I was eating, he came in and I was eating dinner, and then I had some chocolate chip cookies that Patty made. Patty! Basie made, that I'm freaking being tortured by these chocolate chip cookies for like weeks. That I love chocolate chip cookies. Love me some chocolate chip cookies. But I said, you need to do me a favor and take these, because I'm eating like 1 a day. Sorry guys, phone call came in. But he said, if you had a crime committed against you and this, that, and everything else, and I'm going through the list because you guys know house broken into a couple of times by the same guy. It just, and I set myself up for that. Look, I'm not gonna relinquish myself of any, or relieve myself of any of my responsibility in that. I put myself in that situation thinking that I could help somebody, and then law enforcement didn't end up helping. It is what it is. It sucks. But is that going to stop me from helping other people? No, it's absolutely not going to. Am I going to be more careful and measured? I already am when I'm weighing who it is that I'm going to make those decisions to reach out to and help. That's just the way it is. But am I going to be even more aware and mindful and careful about those situations? I am. So they're an invaluable experience. But the guy goes, man, you got some shitty luck. He says, all this stuff happening to you over and over and over again over the course of the last 6 months. And I go, you know what, man, I made my bed. I own it. I knew the risk. I took it. I try to believe in people. And I don't see it as if it failed, I don't see it as something that, did I lose a lot? Yeah. I mean, it sucks, but I've cost myself even more than that situation did. So, being self-destructive and being sabotaging myself, doing those things that I've cost myself a lot. I've cost myself a lot of happiness. I've cost myself a lot of relationships. I've cost myself a lot of income. And, you're just trying to be better. And you're trying to be focused in on doing better and being better. And I feel like I am. And I just hope that I'm able to continue on with all of this because it feels good right now to be able to do the things that I am. So I said, no, it's not really bad luck. I said, I made my bed. I invited that in. I knew the risk. I took it. I learned lessons. And, that's all you can do in life. I'm going to live life. I'm not going to be scared. I'm going to take the positives out of this. And he goes, man, that's a great way to look at it. And I said, yeah. I said, that's really the only way you can look at it. Because if you don't, you're just going to be sitting at your house, crippled up, doing nothing every day, all day. And who wants to do that? Not me. I'd rather go out saying I had a great freaking time. I lived life. My life wasn't on a resort. That's not living life. My life wasn't in the bar. That's not life. My life isn't spending $200 a night in dinners, drinking wine. Who cares? That's not life. Life is about interacting with people, mattering to people. Mattering so much that leading into the next thing here, Charlotte offered, and I got to text her tonight, offered to be there with me in court tomorrow. Joe Palladino offered to be there with me in court tomorrow. Mary, and I don't remember Mary's last name, but Mary called me today. And she goes, hey, Pete, it's a fellow patriot. She called me. I missed her call. I got the message, called her right back. She said, Pete, Mary, so-and-so, fellow patriot, call me back. Called her. She had just a few minutes to speak. And she said, hey, I was over at the wine cellar just last week, walked in, no mask. I spoke to 3 different clerks over and over again at length, and I did not get arrested. Thank you, Carrie. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. That means the world to me. Thank you, hon. And I, Carrie, she also, she offered to help, and be there for me and with me. And Renee and Patty and Lynn, and you could just go through the list. Courtney, going to be there with you. And Lorena, everybody just offering, Kim offering to be there with me. Joe offering to be there with me. All of these different people that are offering to be there with me. And then, Jeb and Jesse and John and, everybody on Facebook that offered to do a GoFundMe. And I don't even remember all the names, but everybody did. Holly offered, and Heather Boatsenart, she did. So many people offered. And guys, that's an amazing thing to have. It's getting really, really dark over here. So I get a little bit of light, I'll hold it here. But, it was that was just an amazing thing to have for everybody to do for me. And I wish I could remember all of the names of everybody that offered, but, those are the people that I can remember. And I think that's the important thing. You go through life and you say, I don't want to be alone, growing up. or at any point, we all want to be in a relationship, right? But you got to learn how to be in a relationship. You got to learn how to be a good friend. You got to learn how to be a good family member. And I am not perfect. And I wanted to say that earlier. I am the farthest from perfect that anybody could possibly be. I fail. I still fail. I fail miserably every day. I have done some of the worst things you can possibly imagine to people. Some of the worst things. To family members, to friends, to coworkers. Not being aware. Not being mindful. Not caring. Being completely selfish. Being completely self-absorbed and just oblivious to that other person that you're talking to actually being a person and having feelings. And once you start to realize how to be a better person, you're not going to stop slipping. You're always going to slip. But you can't worry about that. You can't worry about slipping. You pick yourself up, you dust yourself off. You don't dwell on that because you got a ton of life to live. You got a ton of your day to get through. You got a ton of people that are looking up to you. You got a ton of people that are looking forward to seeing you. And what this has shown me is just how many, people say there's no good people left in the world. On our page, guys, we have thousands. There are thousands of amazing people with huge hearts. And we're getting connected. Each one of us are getting connected, and we're learning how to be a little bit better. We're learning how to be a little bit more aware. We're learning how to be, with Nick being on right now, Nick and I, we've had our differences. But, even seeing him, I wanted to give him a hug. I did. I'm not going to lie. And even Matt, I wanted to give him a hug. We've had our differences, but we've played football for so long. We're family. And did I show as much affection as I wanted to? No. I said, F them. I said, F him. I'm not going to give him that satisfaction. At the end, I'm just going to shake a hand and I'm not going to give him a hug. I'm not going to give him a hug, during it because there's a history. But, inside I wanted to give him a hug. So F you, Nick. I wanted, even though everything went down the way that it did with everything, I still love you, man. And, I still love Matt and I love everybody, with the team. But, I think that's the point, is that even though things we do, we don't realize how they're impacting other people. Once we start to become more aware of that stuff, then we can be better in our world. We can be better around the people in our world. And we can be, examples and represent what it is that we want the world to be. And the people, to other people, what the world can be. So thank you. I'm going in tomorrow at 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. I'm not going to have my mask on. I don't know if I'm going to get into the courthouse again or what the deal is, but I've got everybody offering to be there with me. Everybody offering to do the GoFundMe page, which just means the world to me. And I love it. So I can't thank you guys enough for supporting me and doing everything that you have done to be there for me all the time. I can't even tell you guys how much I care about you, how much you mean to me, what you guys have meant to me in this past 6 months throughout this whole process. I mean, there's bonds that have been created, the protests that we've been to, the dance party that we went to, the plans that we make, everything that we do has just been amazing. And it's been a gift to me to be able to share all of that with you and to get to know you guys. And, it's been a great ride. And I'm so appreciative. You guys enjoy your night. Love you guys. I'm glad I got to see you again. Good night.